lights are out, you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
After an absolute stormer of a finish last week at Atlanta, we come to sunny Southern California in round number 2 of the CleanRacing.net Truck Series Season 14. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you for the call on this one tonight. And, Matt Batby could not have started his title defense any better than he did last week at Atlanta. Take a quick look at the point standings coming into tonight because of that. Matt Batby, of course, sitting atop the pile after a pole position and a race win with a clean race. Lane Hosler, Ryan Twinham, both second and third, only 1 point to the good over Jeremy Morrison. So 4 points separating second through fifth right now. And then you're another 2 points back to James Rayburn, Jeremy Moore, Chris Smith, Dan Sykes, Blaine Woodruff rounding out your top 10 right now. Jimmy LaRoque, Tommy Osborne, Austin Carey not having the race he was hoping for. Nate Brown decided to put it on the hauler early after having a bug that's been going around central New York. John Anthony did show up but did not start, earning him 0 points. Same thing with Kevin Hayes last week. And I am counting 17 trucks here tonight from Fontana, high atop Auto Club Speedway. If I can get there it goes. As hot lap session underway right now. Joey Steyer's back tonight. He's got the 23 wound up. Currently sits atop the pile here in the practice session. Abram Gaston making his return to the league as Hot Lab's getting ready to wind on down here. Just about a minute left. Do need to thank our very good friends over at the RingsideReport.net for all your kickboxing, boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, all your combat sport needs, folks. You need to go to one place and one place only, RingsideReport.net. You can find their podcast on all your favorite streaming services. As 17 haulers in the infield tonight. Pretty decent turnout here for round number 2 in Fontana, California. And to think that this track is still being considered for a reconfigure. Not exactly sure. They've tossed around about 7 different ideas from what I've heard over the past handful of years. So it's going to be interesting to see what this track does end up doing. So just waiting. Just about 10 seconds left. Do need to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat tonight. Thank you so much for making us part of your Monday evening. If you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up because it really does help these videos, the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to be shared on someone's homepage when they log into their YouTube account. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications where the real world might be cooling off as far as finding races this time of year that aren't in the virtual world. But we will definitely have some action coming up straight through the new year here on Sim Racing Media. Kevin Hayes can be one of the first ones to roll it. Nate Brown, Jeremy Morrison, Jamie LaRoche, Brian Toole. Excuse me, folks. I have the hiccups, and I do apologize. Brian Toole has gotten out on track. As Hayes doing that super speedway thing. Takes about a lap and a half to get these trucks really wound up to max power. Using as much of the outlap as he can. Look for him to stay up on the first lap and probably dive it going into 1 on lap 2. Although this track does favor a higher lane usually. You don't want to be right down on that apron. Right about where he's running is usually where the fast lane is. About a groove and a half off of the apron. As we are watching Hayes right now, Lane Hosler, Joey Steyer's both out on track. And I just realized something. Yeah, he is not here. Matt Batby not making the call tonight, as Jeremy Morrison giving me the first one to lay a time. As Jamie LaRoche jumps up to second quick, there he is in the rider number 15. Jeremy Moore looking to get a good one right to the top of the pile in that Brownie Racing number 9. Steyer's going to slide into 4th, Toole and Brown rounding out your times that have been laid so far. Here comes James Rayburn Jr. right down on the apron as Morrison looking to improve on lap number 2. Rayburn going to go 7th quick. Let's see what type of lap Lane Hosler is going to lay down here. There he is in that Ford F-150. That was one of the 3 strongest trucks all night at Atlanta. 3rd quick so far. As Joey Steyer's to the top of the pile. Wow. By over 2/10. That's insane. Ryan Twinham put up a good fight last week as he's taking the green now. should be able to get this both laps in. Plenty of time. Chris Smith and Fred Garcia both out on track right now. As Smith coming through 3 and 4 right now is Hosler to the top of the heap. We're watching Smith now. First lap for Smith, only 12th quick. Fred Garcia back rocking the Gatorade colors here tonight. I'm digging it, Fred. Nice paint scheme on that truck. Twinham's going to cross 14th quick. Not the lap he was hoping for. Taking a look back at Chris Smith in the 14. Solid lap for Smith so far. He is going to improve on his time from the looks of it. The question is he going to gain enough to improve his position? Up to 7th. Not too shabby. Twinham's second lap as he brings it off a 4. Right down on the apron, you see him going across the Geico restart zone. Twinham's second lap, 4th quick. Fred Garcia looks like he may have banged the wall on his second flyer. Evan Gaston and Russ Kilgore both not going to be able to lay times here tonight, as qualifying getting ready to wind on down. Let us wait for that to happen as 2-1, there goes the ticker. And just like that, the practice and preparation is over. Take a quick look at our starting grid tonight, as, of course, I did not have that set up properly. I do apologize. Lane Hosler and Joey Steyers, only 3/1000 separating your front row as they roll it off up on point tonight. Jeremy Morrison and Ryan Twinham are going to start from row number 2. Row 3 is going to see Jeremy Moore and James Rayburn Jr. Row 4 is going to go to Nate Brown and Chris Smith, with Blaine Woodruff and Stephen Tuck rounding out your top 10. Jamie LaRoque and Dan Sykes going to start from row number 6. Row 7 is going to give us Kevin Hayes and Brian Toole. Fred Garcia, the last one to lay a time in qualifying, going to roll it from the 15th spot. He's going to be joined in row 8 with Avram Gaston. Russ Kilgore starting shotgun on the field. Your final 2 drivers being lined up via their iRating. As we are going to take a quick look at the weather conditions coming into tonight. Just about 4 o'clock in sim time. 78 degree ambient air temperature, 56% relative humidity, which means these engines are going to be making gobs of horsepower. And I honestly think that is why the United States has never gone to the metric system. Because does anybody know what the metric equivalent to a shitload is? I rest my case. Track temperature, though, 102 freedom units, as it's going to make this track pretty slick and pretty greasy, especially after they get some more rubber laid down. As the official iRacing pace car starts to roll it, Hosler gets us going. As we are just waiting for the field to line up. A few things of note about tonight's race. This is the 5th time this series has come here, and we will have a new winner here tonight, being as none of the previous 4 winners are in the field this evening. 80 laps of scheduled distance, 4 total sets of tires to get it done with. The set they started on is the set that they had to qualify on. Or strike that in reverse. So the set they qualified on is the set that they have to start the race on. And then they're laying 3 extra sets in the pits. As the field working its way into the 3-4 complex. Again, thank you all so much for making this a part of your Monday evening and making the CleanRacing.net Truck Series your home for action. As the field works its way off the Turn 4 complex, Geico Restart Zone is in effect tonight. good things left to say. It's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some sunscreen because it's time to get it on in sunny Southern California. Race fans,
Green, green, green.
it's showtime! Hosler and Stiers go door to door into turn number 1. Still door to door. 3 wide in the mid pack though, as we head down the back chute with a good head of steam. Stiers taking the extreme high line. Hosler trying to do the short way around. Coming across the stripe for the first time. Give the lap to Hosler by half a truck. Almost beating and banging as the front 2 trucks have already clawed their way out to 3/4 of a second to the good. Stiers keeps his foot in and on that top shelf. The high lane is going to pay bigger and bigger dividends as the night wears on. Meanwhile, back around the latter part of the top 5, everybody's starting to get single filed out now. We're checking back in with the 5 and Nate Brown working the inside of Lane Woodruff. That is your 9th and 10th battle. As it got the 10 to Stephen Tuck right in front of him for 8th. As a matter of fact, Chris Smith is there in the 14 as well, as Brown's going to have to cycle back a little bit. You're going to have to time your runs very carefully tonight, because it is going to be so easy to just burn the right front off if you cannot get that timing down to where you need it to. Boy, almost 3 wide, almost 4 wide, coming off a 2 that time. Twin letting Jeremy Morrison get a gap on him. As here comes Jeremy Moore to the inside of James Rayburn. Rayburn on the top shelf in that purple people leader. Everybody playing nicely so far. Everybody giving a lot of respect, a lot of room. Nobody really pushing the envelope. Jeremy Moore, though, is going to need to get up onto that high side if he's going to want to make it happen. Because you're able to carry just so much more momentum on that second lane, up to the third lane as that. As here comes Smith reeling him in. Smith and Moore now go side by side as Twinham was trying to make a move on Morrison. Thought better of it. Did not have the chutzpah to get it done with. Lane Woodruff just set fastest lap of the event so far with a 41.54. Stiers and Hosler still running stem to stern, as these guys are just all over this track. And that's the one thing I love about this facility, is you can run 2 and 3 wide all night long. It's a beautiful thing, and I just cannot get enough of it personally. As now Rayburn looks to the inside of Twinham. 3 wide coming through the tri-oval. It's Twinham on the low, Rayburn on the low side, Morrison on the top shelf. Here comes Smith up through the middle as well. Shot out of a cannon coming off a 4. Smith just gained 2. As a matter of fact, Smith is your biggest mover of the night. Currently sitting +4. He and Russ Kilgore both on the charge forward. There we see Chris Smith in that Mobile 1 number 14 Toyota. And that battle behind him is not lightened up in the least, as Stier and Hosler were side by side there for a second. Stiers by half a fender got it at the line. Hosler still trying to make a run on that top shelf. Stier's going to be able to throw the block. Battle for the lead, hot and heavy. Battles all through the top 10, hot and heavy. You guys are running it like it's lap 78 as opposed to 7. Hosler with a slight advantage coming through 3 and 4. Stiers goes up the track. Hosler giving him plenty of room. Stiers able to run off of 4. Drag race to the line, given by Stiers by a half a truck. Rayburn and Morrison have not gotten away from each other since the drop of the green. Morrison goes to the extreme high side. That's going to open the door for Jeremy Moore to get up in there. Rayburn Jr. still running the low side. Toyota on Toyota action for 5th right now. Morrison has it. Rayburn wants it. Stiers, Hosler, Twinham, Smith, Morrison, Rayburn, Moore, Tuck, Woodruff, Sykes, your top 10. Everybody's still on the lead lap. There's a slight gap, though, back from Russ Kilgore in 13th, back to Nate Brown in 15th. As Brown not having a good time of it here tonight. This battle for 5th has not let up one iota, as we got a battle for the lead. Is now Hosler on the top side. He's got Twinham for help. As Twinham's going to try to make it 3 wide. Nope, drops down back behind Stiers, going through 3 and 4. Hosler going to have the advantage coming off of 4. Fender, door, quarter, beer. Give the lap to Hosler. The 3 of Twinham right on the tailgate of Hosler is Ford, Chevy, Toyota, as Chris Smith is sitting in 4th, just waiting for those guys to make a mistake in front of him. And we got some problems going on back there. Some beating and banging happening. Here comes the 51 of Kevin Hayes. As he throws his name into their hat into the mix as the +4 club. Jeremy Moore working the inside of Stephen Tuck right now. Tuck on the top shelf. Moore has backslid. He's lost 3 from the green flag. That race still rages on. Moore's got to get to that top shelf, because all he's doing on that low line is just wearing out that right front tire, trying to keep that truck pinched down. Kevin Hayes, currently your biggest mover, sitting +5 as he's gotten by Moore. This is one of those tracks where if you can't run the top shelf and you're not comfortable up there, you're probably going to have a bad time tonight. So here comes Joey Stiers back on Smith, crossing over the middle of 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Hosler and Twinham are half a second up the road as these two guys continue to run side by side. That's Stiers on the low side, Smith on the top shelf. Remember what I said about we had 3 drivers that was all sitting +4? All 3 drivers are now sitting +5. Chris Smith in 3rd, +5. Kevin Hayes in 8th, +5. Russ Kilgore in 12th, +5. There he is in the ortho number 18. And that is an angry pack of Hornets in front of them. As Hayes, Morrison, and Rayburn. Oy. Sorry, that was Hayes, Tuck, and Morrison. Now Hayes does have the clear. Sykes trying to make some headway now. So we're watching 7th through 12th. Oy. '75 of Morrison wisely backing out of it. It was looking a little too chippy up there for his liking. And here comes Blaine Woodruff on the high side of the 66 of Dan Sykes. Down the back straightaway they come. Woodruff's going to have the advantage because he's got the hole being punched for him. Sykes, unfortunately, on that low side, not going to have any help yet. Jeremy Moore trying to reel him in to help hopefully work the two of them to the front, as he's finally going to slot in. Here comes Kilgore to his inside. Still running side by side, 15 laps in the, or working lap 15 of 80 here tonight. Let us know who you're pulling for in the live chat. We'll try to highlight your favorite driver as the night wears on. Big moment coming off of 2 as Kilgore has to chase it all the way down the track. Luckily, there was nobody inside him. That was definitely a first you say it, then you do it kind of moment. Doesn't look like there's a ton of damage on that truck. Bangs the wall. There's damage now, as the right side of that Ortho Ford is completely cheese gratered. Boy. Anybody want to buy a truck? Well, that opened up a little bit here. They started to get single filed out. You found your dancing partner. It's time to play. Stephen Tuck and Kevin Hayes run stem to stern right now. Hayes leading the way. That is your battle for 6th and 7th, as they've got 3/4 of a second to catch James Rayburn and 3/4 of a second over Blaine Woodruff. Woodruff was trying to take evasive actions to stay off the 18 of Kilgore. Battle continues to rage on. Now remember, there is a bonus point for clean race. So the pole sitter gets the bonus point, leading a lap, leading the most laps, and clean race all get bonus points. And that is exactly why at the end of last week, Matt Batby currently leads by 6 over Lane Hosler. Batby got the qualifying bonus point and the lap led. Matter of fact, most laps led with 59. As we are watching this battle, Batby unfortunately not here tonight. That is definitely going to hamper his cause for his championship defense. As Hayes and Tuck still running door to door. Check in with James Rayburn Jr. Aha, that's what that says. I'm digging it. I am digging it. Paint scheme that we haven't seen too much of. Hoping to see a little bit more of it at the front. Checking back in here. This is Blaine Woodruff making a move on Dan Sykes. Oh, he's sideways. Sykes has to take evasive action. Woodruff was all sorts of sideways coming off a 2. Sykes, though, able to keep his foot in it. He's going to wrestle the spot away. Battle for 4th starting to get hot and heavy as Smith and Rayburn start to go door to door. They're bringing Hayes and Tuck to them the more that they keep fighting this out. Current race leader is that man in the Hosler Fencing Construction, number 61. That is Lane Hosler. Ryan Twinham currently sits in 2nd. Joey Stiers in 3rd. Chris Smith in 4th. He's got James Rayburn right to his quarter panel, though. Rayburn going to slot in. There's Rayburn. There is Hayes as Rayburn makes a move going into 3. Just going to send it on the low side. Smith, though, able to keep it wound up on that second lane. Oy. Rayburn had to take evasive action. If he didn't lift, he was going to go into Smith, and nobody wants to be that guy, especially only on lap 22 of 80. Just past the quarter mark here. As Rayburn and Smith continue to slug it out for fourth. These guys have not gotten away from each other yet. That is 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. All right there. And all these guys battling the way that they are, they're letting Jeremy Moore in the 9, who's in 8th place right now, start to reel them back in. Now, Moore doesn't have any pressure from behind as Dan Sykes and Blaine Woodruff are over a second and a half to the arrears. But this is where Rayburn needed to be, on the high side. That's where you can carry the speed in the corners. Smith going to pinch up a little bit. Rayburn keeping his foot in it, going to get the run coming off a 2. Drag race down the back straightaway. Stiers and Twinham battle for second. Stiers got a better run off a 2. Timed that run to get the move done in the middle of 3 and 4. Now set sail on trying to reel in Lane Hosler. Chris Smith still caught on the low side as Rayburn using the top shelf. Rayburn starting to fade. Just as I say that, he gets a better run off of 4. Half a fender, give it to Rayburn for 4th. Smith in 5th, Hayes and Tuck right there as well, and don't count out Jeremy Moore as he is starting to move back in the positive direction. We're going to stay on this battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th as these guys have not contact. Hayes was thinking about going down. The only problem is the 10 of Tuck was there, or sorry, the 14 of Smith was there. Tuck wisely jumping on the binders to stay off him. And the question is, was there actual contact? And did it register in the sim? We will have to wait till after the race to find that one out. As I dare say, these guys are... Oh! Rayburn eats the wall. You can see the wow in the left rear, or right rear fender of that truck. That Toyota did have some smoke flying. And yes he does. He's pancaked the right side of that Toyota. Doesn't seem to be affecting him too adversely yet, though. Jeremy Moore making a charge on the low side. And the question is, who's going to be the first one to flinch to go down pit road to get a fresh set of tires, as we are 26 laps in to this 80-lap A-main event. Guys still have not given up on each other. That is Rayburn, Hayes, Moore, Smith, and Tuck all right there. The 18 of Kilgore is a lap truck. Again, throw a blanket over 4th through 8th right now. Here comes Hayes to the inside of Rayburn. The 18 of Kilgore is in this mix. Now, I'm never going to fault anyone for having the speed, but he's got to be careful, knowing that he's a lap down to these race leaders. Does have the speed in that Ford, though. As it looks like Fred Garcia is going to be the first one to flinch at lap 26. As Stiers and Twinham still have not gotten away from each other. Lane Hosler, though, a second and a half to the good. There is your second place in points coming in tonight. Should inherit the race lead. As we are going to check back in. This is 7th and 8th going after each other. As Smith giving Stephen Tuck all sorts of pressure right now. Kevin Hayes in the 51, though, that Budweiser Chevy, the 51 there, you can see him right behind the lap truck of Kilgore, is your biggest mover currently at +7. He and Adam Gaston both +7, as Gaston pushing pressure on Dan Sykes right now. Gaston started shotgun on the field and has clawed his way up at a steady pace. Imagine what could have happened if he would have taken a qualifying attempt. Checking back in, just inside the top 10. That is Smith and Tuck going door to door. Battle for 7th and 8th. Battle for 9th and 10th still pretty tight behind them as they get that one sorted out. So here comes Dan Sykes right in the slipstream of the Fanatec 63. That is Abram Gaston. And Hosler going to be one of the first ones to peel at pit side. Twinham goes with him. Steyer stays out. As Woodruff and LaRoque have both come down pit side. From the looks of it, we're looking at approximately a 53 to 54 second pit delta. Lane Woodruff having to get a little bit of damage repair. And it sounds like Stiers might be, yes he is, coming in this time. Let's see what Rayburn's going to do. Rayburn's going to stay out. And he's going to overhaul Stiers before Stiers can get to the start-finish line. Rayburn, Moore, Smith, Tuck, Gaston, and Brown have all yet to come down, as does the 75 of Jeremy Morrison. Morrison, though, is badly off pace. He's going to have to stop the hemorrhaging. That 53 of Rayburn continues to show the way. Jeremy Moore, as Rayburn goes pit side, Moore now going to get handed the lead of the race. Second and a half to the good over that battle between Chris Smith and Stephen Tuck. Gaston has caught Tuck, though. This is going to get interesting. Now, Gaston, we know, is a long-run truck. The man knows how to save tires, plain and simple. Doesn't have the short-run pace, but definitely, as this night is going to wear on, look for that 63 to get stronger and stronger. So your effective race lead is that man, Lane Hosler. So we're going to go back in and check this battle as the 51 of Hayes has just gotten his lap back off that crew the hard way. He's on the fresh shoes. Moore is 2 seconds up the road, your current race leader. Then you got Smith, Gaston, and Tuck all right there. That is second, third, and fourth. As battle for second, Gaston going to throw it to the inside. Your biggest mover is the 63, currently sitting +13. Those guys battling side by side like they are, they're just letting Jeremy Moore get further and further up the road, as it's now 2.5 seconds up to the 9 of Moore as he's working the inside, letting those two lap trucks who are on the pressure tires get by him. 51 of Hayes is on a tear right now. Battle for second, still hot and heavy. So 31 of Rayburn gets by them. So Smith is finally going to come back, or finally going to come down pit road. That leaves more Gaston, Tuck, and Brown, and Morrison as your only trucks to have yet to come pit side. And Joey Stiers just blistered a lap, 41.37, trying to reel in Lane Hosler. But he's got Ryan Twinham right there with him. And Hosler is almost 4 seconds up the road. Stiers having to drive out the rearview mirror just as much as he's driving out the windshield. As Twinham giving him all sorts of pressure right now as Gaston's going to bring it pit side. That leaves only 4 that have yet to come down. One of whom being your race leader, Jeremy Moore. Although after the pit stops cycle out, your effective race lead is going to be your pole sitter, Lane Hosler. As we are watching this battle for effective second place, we are going to step away, take a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this.
Hey, this is Steven Cherrick. I'm the rear tire changer on the number 24 GMS Chevrolet, and you're watching Sim Racing Media.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
Hey, this is Steven Cherrick. I'm the rear tire changer on the number 24 GMS Chevrolet, and you're watching Sim Racing Media.
And we are back for round number 2 of the CleanRacing.net truck season, season number 14. Round number 2 here from Auto Club in beautiful Fontana, California. Dr. Bass, welcome to the booth with you for this one. Thank you so much for making us part of your Monday evening. Just past the halfway mark as we're watching this battle between Gaston, Sykes, and Toole. That was 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th going after each other for quite a while there. As this battle for second still hot and heavy, but they are still 4 seconds behind that man, your pole sitter in the Hosler Fence and Construction number 61. That is Lane Hosler. Stiers and Twinham running second and third. There's Stiers. Mackinac, Illinois is where he calls home. Ryan Twinham to his inside. We're up in Chi-Town. Big wiggle for Stiers coming off of 4. That's going to lose him some ground. Not what he needed in the least. As we are going to check back in with this battle a little bit deeper, as Sykes trying to reel in Abram Gaston. Gaston currently sitting plus 10 in 6th, your biggest mover of the night so far. Smith and Toole now starting to pick things up. Battle for 8th and 9th. A little Toyota on Toyota action there. Check back in here with Fred Garcia looking to get around Russ Kilgore. Kilgore had some fresher shoes, but had since slipped back. Garcia's showing some good pace here tonight. Currently up a couple spots from where he did start. Kilgore going to go to the extreme high side, gets up into the marbles. That's going to loosen him up a little bit. Not what he is hoping for in the slightest. And before I forget to do so, we do need to thank Fred Garcia for all that he does for this league, as far as collecting the points, putting things on the CleanRacing.net website, doing the pre-race notes that he gives so that the drivers know what's going on, so that I know what's going on, and so that you, the fans, can check in to see what's going on as well. Fred Garcia and Nate Brown, two of the unsung heroes here in the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. As Jamie LaRoque and Blaine Woodruff going after each other now. Pretty negligible as far as tires go, but there is Jamie LaRoque, a longtime member of this league, one of the stalwarts here, perennial favorite. Checking back up in front of these guys, that's Chris Smith. Chris Smith and Dan Sykes with Jeremy Morrison to their outside. Now, Morrison did get popped for a speeding penalty. Sped on pit road, got held in his pit stall under that green flag pit stop. So definitely no bueno for the 75 right now. Twinham and Stiers starting to heat things up again as Stiers has reeled in Twinham. The only problem is Lane Hosler is now doing his best impersonation of Matt Batney, as he is now 5.8 seconds up the road and looking to put 15th place Stephen Tuck a lap down. Tuck gives him plenty of room down the back straightaway. Looks like he's just going to let him go and then slot in behind him. Tuck not having a good time of it right now. We did see some wall contact for the Liberty University number 10 earlier. So we're back with this battle for second. Twinham leads Stiers. Twinham in second, Stiers in third. Stiers wants second place back badly. And Lane Hosler just continues to walk the dog here as he is now 6 seconds up the road. Let us know who you're pulling for in the live chat. We'll try to highlight your favorite driver throughout the night. Once again, of the 17 trucks that started, Russ Kilgore has now come pit side for his green flag pit stop. Fred Garcia is going to join him, as we're looking right around 30 laps out of a tank at Go Fast here tonight. And Hosler's going to pit early. Really? Okay. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to Ryan Twinham. First laps he's led here tonight. Twinham, Stiers, looks like Rayburn staying out. Hayes and Smith both coming in. A little bit of that pit strategery going on right now. For your pole sitter, Lane Hosler, he's down pit side. Hayes goes pit side. Smith and Sykes are both pit side. As we are going to be 25 to go at the stripe, which means we're inside you can make it from here range. There are 26 laps to go, I do apologize. We're still inside you can make it from here range, which means should we get a late race caution, everybody should have a spare set of tires sitting on the wall. Rayburn, Toole, and LaRoque all coming down pit side now. This battle for the current race lead. Who's going to be the first one to flinch out of these two? Looks like neither this time by. And they're going to have to be careful because Lane Hosler is still on the lead lap in 6th place, and he's got fresh shoes on that Hosler Friends in Construction number 61. Biggest mover currently is that man in the 63 on the outside. That's Avram Gaston. Now, the 51 of Hayes has already come down for what should be his money stop. This Twinham and Stiers still slugging it out right now. So lead lap trucks as they currently sit. Twinham, Stiers, Gaston, Woodruff, Moore, Hosler, and Tuck. Of those names I just mentioned, the only one that has come down pit road to get fresh tires, Lane Hosler. In the 61, Stephen Tuck still has to come down. Nate Brown in 8th still needs to come down, though he is a lap down to your leader. Kevin Hayes just came in. So look for him to try to get his lap back the hard way. And something just happened with Hosler. Stiers goes to the outside. Through 3 and 4. Stiers trying to make something happen on the top shelf. Nothing doing this late in the run. Just can't get that run timed just right. Just checking back in here with Dan Sykes and Jeremy Morrison as those two guys are going after each other. A little bit deeper in the pack than we were just showing, as there is Kevin Hayes and Nate Brown. And Nate Brown running a Hooters scheme. Okay. Sure, why not? Twinham and Stiers continue to turn laps. 22 laps to go. If they leave this much longer, they're going to run out of time. Because Hosler, last time by for Hosler was a 41.56. Compare that to Twinham and Stiers, both doing 43.2s. So a second and a half quicker per lap is your pole sitter on the fresher tires. Stephen Tuck bails out to go down pit side to get his money stopped, done and dusted. It's Hosler following Kilgore right now. We're going to check back in. That is Chris Smith and James Rayburn Jr. starting to pick things up. 21 laps to go. It'll be 20 at the stripe. Through 3 and 4, Twinham still shows the way. Neither one looking like they want to come pit side anytime soon. This is getting sketchy, folks. To go. Stiers has backed off a little bit. Twinham still trying to run a strong pace. We'll see what this lap without the pressure is going to give him. Looks like 43.2 again. Stiers 43.5. Hosler last time by 41.9. Kevin Hayes is on the freshest shoes as he's trying to get his lap back the hard way. Checking back in here with Jeremy Moore and playing Woodruff. Woodruff on the top shelf, Moore on the low side. Just like that, Moore into currently 4th. As here comes Fred Garcia on the fresh shoes. And that is your effective race lead behind these guys. There is Hosler, who does have the fresh shoes and is on the lead lap. So this battle is going to be for 4th, 5th, and 6th. As Moore has it, Woodruff wants it, and Hosler's probably going to take it. Hosler makes the pats on Woodruff look easy, working the inside of Moore. Side by side down the back straightaway. This is costing Hosler a little bit of time. Just in the last handful of laps, he's already brought the gap down a second. Now the question is, can Twinham and Stiers stay out? Is there enough fuel in that tank to get these two to the end? And the answer to that question, I don't know. Stiers has caught Twinham again. Gaston goes pit side. Oh, this might not end well, as we are going to go. Twinham goes pit side. Did Stiers save enough? 15 laps to go. He may have just thrown this one away. This Hosler is coming like a freight train out of control right now. Now a second a lap to the good. And for Twinham, 15 laps to go. That's still quite a distance. And he is taking 4 down and clean and 15-8 in the box. Woodruff has gone pit side. And Hosler is still chipping away at that lead that Stiers currently has. If anybody can make this tank go fast, go that long, don't bet against Joey Stiers. However, Lane Hosler is still reeling him in at a second a lap. Good news for Stiers, though, the gap is 18 seconds. Nope, he can't. He's coming pit this time. Does he take tires? Hosler coming like a freight train through 4 right now. That is your effective race lead, about to be official race lead. Stiers getting to his box now. Hosler shows the way, 5 seconds to the good. Over that man, Jeremy Moore, who still has to come pit side himself. Stiers, 4 tires down and away, 13 laps to go. Currently sits in 4th. Make that 5th as Twinham has gotten back by him. So Lane Hosler, money stop, done and dusted. Kevin Hayes in 3rd, money stop, done and dusted. 4 seconds to the good over Ryan Twinham. Nate Brown and Brian Toole going after each other. Toole on the newer tires, as Brown still has to come down for his money stop. There is Hosler. 6.5 seconds to the good over Jeremy Morrison. Morrison is another 14 seconds to the good over that man, Kevin Hayes. Unfortunately for Hayes, Ryan Twinham is reeling him in very quickly, as we are 11 to go. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help us share these videos with the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to be shared on someone's YouTube homepage when they log in. Now be sure to join us tomorrow at noon Eastern Time for the Midday Racing League season finale as they go to Charlotte at noon Eastern Time. And be sure to join us. Let me double check the schedule. Yes, we will be back next Monday here for the CleanRacing.net Truck Series from Richmond. 150 laps around that joint. Always a good time whenever we go to Richmond. Rock and Roll 150. Meanwhile, right now, Lane Hosler has now carved out a 10.5-second lead over Jeremy Moore. Moore might be having problems. He's trying to limp that truck home and not have to come pit side. Moore is way off the pace right now. The question is, does he have a big enough gap built up to hold off Twinham? I can't say for certain. As there is Twinham with a good head of steam right now. Matter of fact, last time by for Twinham, 41.78. Compare that to Moore's 44.9. Yes, folks, you heard me correctly. 3 seconds a lap quicker. And he only has a 7-second gap. Jeremy Moore might be running out of time. Checking back in here, battle just inside the top 10. That is Nate Brown, Abram Gaston, and Dan Sykes all going after each other. Brown, another one, trying to limp it home from here. Last down pit road on lap 38. Sykes and Gaston can definitely make it from here as they were down on lap 53 and 64, 53 and 64 respectively. Only one retirement to speak of, and that's the 10 of Stephen Tuck. Not having a good time of it. As Gaston and Sykes go door to door going into 3, Gaston going to send it on the inside. Sykes sends it even deeper on the top shelf. But Gaston able to get it back to the gas quicker. Going to throw the block on Sykes. Sykes not putting up too much of a struggle. Going to try to cross him over coming through the tri-oval. But that's going to put him in the non-advantageous spot as he is able to get the crossover done. Just pinches up. He's going to hold up Gaston just a little bit. You can see he's already cheese grated the right side of that 63. And there is your race leader, as we only got 11 trucks left on the lead lap. Lane Hosler, Ryan Twinham, Jeremy Moore, and Twinham has gotten by Moore. Now Moore is only 2.25 to the good over Joey Stiers. There's Joe. Kevin Hayes rounding out your top 5 as we currently sit. Chris Smith in 6th. There he is. There's Brian Toole in 7th. Abram Gaston in 8th. Dan Sykes in 9th. Nate Brown currently rounds out your top 10. But you can see that he is trying to fuel mileage this thing. He's got to last 5 more laps. Hosler has been set on kill since that truck rolled off the hauler 2 hours ago. Something about this place. Now, he said he didn't have any, feelings about this place. Wasn't sure how tonight was going to turn out. So far, it's been inch perfect as Nate Brown finally comes pit side. Brown hand grenaded an engine. Well then. That's no bueno. Blaine Woodruff and Jamie LaRoque going after each other. Woodruff on the fresher tires of the two by about 10 laps. That's why he made that pass look as easy as he did. And Joey Stiers, as we are currently 4 laps to go, can see Ryan Twinham. The question is, can he get to him? 3/4 of a second to the good was Stiers, and he's got 3/4 of a second of a gap to make up here as we are 3 to go from Auto Club, round number 2 of the CleanRacing.net Season 14 Truck Series. I'm going to pass off the booth with you. Thank you so much. And you picked the perfect time to join in if you're just joining us. Lane Hosler has just put on a clinic here tonight around the 2 miles that make up Auto Club Speedway. He is 16 and a half seconds over this battle for second as popsicle sticks are in the air. 2 laps to go. Hosler going to bring it into turn number 1. Checking back with this battle for second. They're coming through the tri-oval now. That's Twinham and Stiers has the slightly fresher tires. Not by much, but he's got the fresher tires as now he works to the outside, pinches Twinham down towards the apron. Twinham going to run him up the track, drag race down the back straightaway. Stiers into the wall. That is no bueno. That just basically gave that one up for Stiers. White flag in the air. Hosler, 1 lap to go. We are racing back to checkers. Hosler, 16 seconds to the good over Twinham. There is Stiers. He's going to have 2 miles to try to reel Twinham in and make the pass stick. Hosler's almost a half second or half a lap to the good over this battle for second. Hosler, Twinham, Stiers, Hayes, and Moore, your top 5 as they currently sit. Jeremy Moore, if you can get it home from here, you have my respect, sir. Out of turn number 4 and down onto the apron, your winner, driver of the Hosler Construction and Fence, number 61, Lane Hosler comes home with the victory. Ryan Twinham hanging on for a second. Joey Stiers going to cross for third. There is Kevin Hayes who crossed for fourth. Coming across right now. That is your battle for fifth. Give it to Smith by half a truck. Checking back in here with your race winner. We are going to reach out now to the driver of the Hosler Fence and Construction number 61 Ford F-150. One of the trucks to beat last week, completely stunk up the show this week. Lane Hosler, congratulations on getting your first win in quite a while.
Thank you.
Talk us through just how you did it tonight, because you just put on a clinic on how to get around a 2-mile track.
I will be honest, I've not been a fan of this track in the past. Kind of hopped in the server tonight and right away noticed that the truck was a little bit loose, a little bit on the free side, and it's one of the things that I like. I like driving a truck that's a little bit loose, so it just worked out.
Now, we saw in the opening salvo there, the first green flag run that you guys had, right at the drop of the green, you got caught on that low side. It almost looked like that's not where you wanted to be at all tonight.
No, being right on the bottom wasn't exactly the best spot. You could get kind of snappy loose coming off of 2 and 4, really. If I found early in practice that if you ran the first seam, it would loosen the truck up just enough that you could get into the gas super early.
Yeah, that's what it seemed, that you were able to just put everybody to bed tonight. But talk us through that pit strategy on the money stop. As soon as you guys got into the you can make it from here territory, you were down pit road and got that stop done and dusted.
I know me, Joey, and Ryan were all kind of playing the game of we didn't necessarily want to be the first one to pit, but we didn't necessarily want to be the last ones to pit either. And there on that first fuel run, I caught them off guard. I ended up pitting, and then they were like, "Dang it! I wish I would have done that." So, and then at the end of the race, I was looking at pitting earlier. I wanted to come when we got to 30 to go, but I was worried that was going to be too early, so I ended up staying out a little bit longer.
Well, you definitely had enough fuel to get it home from there. Were you watching the relative and seeing what Jeremy Moore was trying to do?
I assumed that Jeremy was going to try to one stop it. Him and I think actually both Jeremys were one stopping it. I tried to maybe think about that there when I was following Joey the first run, and I did I think 2 laps trying to save fuel, and it just wasn't gonna. It didn't look to me like it was going to be worth it, so I abandoned that.
Well, and hindsight being 2020, you guessed right. But next week we go to a completely different animal and Richmond. What are your thoughts going into that race next week?
Richmond's been a good track for me here lately. I think the last time we were there, I had a lot of speed and I ended up having some issues, but see if we can turn it around this time.
Well, Lane, congratulations on getting your first win on the season. Effectively getting you the points lead going into next week. Who do you need to thank before we turn you loose to go celebrate?
I'd say thanks to you for broadcasting. You guys do a really good job. Definitely thanks to Fred for putting on the league and help organize all this. Thanks to my girlfriend and my parents. They're all watching too, so.
All right. Again, Lane Hosler, congratulations on getting your first victory in quite a while. Too long, my friend. Let's make a solid attempt to try to make this more frequent.
I would love that.
All right, Lane. Best of luck to you next week in Richmond.
Thanks.
So that is going to do it for us tonight from Auto Club. Lane Hosler, Ryan Twinham, Joey Stiers rounding out your podium. Kevin Hayes, Chris Smith rounding out your top 5. Avram Gaston, one of your biggest movers tonight. As a matter of fact, your biggest mover, plus 10, coming home in 6th, is Brian Toole in 7th, Dan Sykes in 8th. Jeremy Moore did make it to the finish, as did Jeremy Morrison. Both those guys were last down pit road on lap 39. So hats off to both you gentlemen for one stopping this piece. Blaine Woodruff rounding out your top 10. James Rayburn, Jamie LaRoque, Fred Garcia, Jeremy Morrison, Russ Kilgore, Nate Brown, and Stephen Tuck rounding out your field here tonight from Auto Club. Be sure to join us tomorrow for noon Eastern as the Midday Racing League has their season finale at noon Eastern time. On behalf of Mr. Fred Garcia and our good friends over at cleanracing.net and the ringsidereport.net, this is Tony Spass. Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that until we meet again and as you walk down the road of life this week, do me a favor. Don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.